All right, guys, sorry for the delay. I'm trying to crash the learning curve here on Google Hangouts. Give me just a second. I'm going to try to find out how this interacts with YouTube so I can see your comments. I thought this would actually be through YouTube. Apparently, it's through Google Hangouts. So this is kind of a surprise. If anyone can help me out, if anyone could post a comment just so I can see if I can even get them, that would definitely help out. In the meantime, until I get a comment, today we're going to be smoking. I got a lot of variety here. Today we're going to be smoking the Luigi Viprati. It's one of my new acquisitions. I don't think I've shown this on a video yet. Got this over IPSD, one of my favorite pipes. Beautiful piece. It's also my first filter pipe. I've never actually smoked one of these 9mm filters or balsa filters in any pipe before I got this. And I've had a lot of good luck with it so far. Although it is kind of a tight fit. Given the fact I like a really dry smoke, though, it is probably the driest smoking pipe, given the fact that it has a filter in it compared to pretty much any other pipe that I have. And I cracked a new tin today. It's an oldie but a goodie. It's new for me in the last 6 months, although they changed the tin art. It's actually Cornell & Deal's Interlude. I don't really care for the new tin art. It doesn't really look like that classic blue label they used to have. Interlude is a tobacco that I'm going to say I tried it probably a year ago. It's very similar to Cornell & Deal's Sunday Picnic, although a little bit lighter. It had a little bit of honey in it. Some people said it tasted a little like bleach or had a little bit of an aftertaste of bleach, which personally I didn't mind. I think I've actually probably said that. But again, haven't had this in several months. I had a bowl earlier today, and this is my my second bowl. Interlude is one of those tobaccos I would call, and again, I've said this or used this term a lot, kind of an undiscovered gem in the Cornell & Deal portfolio. It doesn't get a lot of press, doesn't get that favorable reviews. I haven't checked, probably a 3.2, maybe a 3.1 on tobacco reviews, possibly lower. But when I discovered it, this doesn't happen all the time, but I knew I liked it right away. And for whatever reason, I just never reordered it. After the first, 2 or 3 tins, I haven't reordered it in the last 6 months or so. One thing I'll say about some of my nicer pipes, and I said this in the last video, about piping mishaps, and God knows I've had several. I did mention in that video there was, probably 2 or 3 pipes that I did consider, quote unquote, works of art, at least within, it's all relative, within my collection. This was one of them. And this is one that I try not to take out of the house. I've only taken it out probably once or twice. But what I wanted to talk about regarding this pipe is I was really sensitive about charring up the bowl. It's a beautiful bowl, beautiful top of the bowl. And so I got some of this hemp wick. I got this idea from talking with Briar Boy, Aaron. And I got 50 yards. God knows I have enough of it. And I tried it several times. And it does do the job in terms of protecting the bowl. But I'll demonstrate this here. They have little holders that obviously make this a little bit easier. But there's a lot of, well, this isn't a YouTube video, so I can cuss. There's a lot of shit to try to maintain in your hand at the same time. So to try to pull off the trifecta here, you've got a lighter in one hand, the hemp wick in another. It can be done, but it's a little bit tricky. And again, I have a glass holder for this, but it doesn't really make it that much easier. It does allow you to target the flame though. That's what I like about it. And although you can't see it, you can tell it definitely allows you to protect the top of the bowl. There's no charring, there's no pulling the flame over on top of the briar. So in that respect, I'd say it's really nice, but then I get lazy and I started using a lighter with this bowl. And I just try to use it very carefully, and it's still relatively pristine. The one takeaway I got from using this this new filter pipe, and again, it's my only one. I have about 20 pipes. It's the only one that has a filter in it, and I love it. I was very skeptical for a long time about using filters. Like many of you, my very first pipe was a corn cob. I still have several corn cobs, and they come with that very kind of generic, cheap paper filter in them. And I wouldn't really consider that a quote unquote real filter. So that's my only prior experience using a filter. But after having the balsa in this one, it's night and day difference. For those of you who really kind of crave a dry smoke like I do. So again, previous skeptic, I am now a believer. It only took one bowl to become a believer. Thought I'd show off some new tobaccos here. Like many of you guys, I kind of went crazy over IPSD, probably a little too crazy. I got a huge box back in late February. I cracked open probably only 10% of everything I got. I got a few things I haven't opened yet, which I'm a little bit anxious about. This is one I heard a lot about, but never smoked it myself. So Fusiliers Ration. Had a sample of Black House before, but I never had a full tin before. Again, not a big English guy, but the sample I had way back when was really nice. My only experience with Seattle Pipe Club has been, Christ, what has it been? Mississippi River and Plum Pudding. I was kind of attracted to the tin art on this one. It says Potlatch. I also like the crumble cake they put in here, going back to Seattle Pipe Club, or going back to Plum Pudding. It almost looked like cookies or brownies when I opened it. And although Plum Pudding was good, I actually liked the cut more than anything else. And I'm almost done with this recent discovery, which is Old Grove, which again, I talked about in the last video. You know, sometimes I make a video and I say that I either like or dislike a tobacco, and then just due to circumstance within a couple days, I'll completely reverse my mind, but then not have the motivation to put that new opinion on a next video. So sometimes I do change my mind, but this is one of the few that I feel exactly the same way today, about a week after talking about it on camera. Old Grove is just up my alley. Again, really strong flavoring, really strong conditioning. There's something about that pomegranate topping that I hated it at first when I first got Haydo's Delight over a year ago. Cared for it a little bit more when I had Cairo a couple weeks ago. And then last week when I got this, it was just, I don't know, either it was growing on me or I was growing on it, but it was just good stuff. That pomegranate topping is so weird. It doesn't taste like cherry, it doesn't taste like strawberry. It's, for someone who doesn't eat a lot of pomegranate, it just has a very weird taste. Moving on. My favorite bowl of the day. I've been smoking a lot of different things today. My favorite bowl of the day is probably not a big surprise. Um, there's one tobacco that's kind of just stuck with me. It's kind of been kind of like a monkey on my back for the last couple months, in a good way, not a bad way. And some tobaccos kind of come into your flavor and then they come out of your flavor, but the one that's really stuck around consistently that I've never had a bad bowl with, and that's pretty rare, is Raja's Court. And I discovered that last summer. Hadn't smoked a lot of it, but every time I had it, it was just that almost like a super sub in a basketball team. It was just the one I could always count on. I didn't really smoke it every day or every week, but every time I went back to it, it came in and performed every single time. I'm almost done with my last tin, but although I have a lot of other things to smoke, I'm going to crack open this 8-ounce tin because I'm tired of waiting. And I got a lot of other tobaccos I enjoy smoking less. I was going to save that for a special occasion. I said, well, Easter weekend is a special occasion. And I still cannot see any comments yet. And I still. Give me just a second, guys. I'm trying to figure out this Google Hangout versus YouTube thing. Okay. I apologize. There's several comments here. I'm sorry. Can someone just post a comment if you can hear me? Okay, good. Again, apologize about that. This is definitely going to be a learning experience, so appreciate the patience. Salam, haven't got your coffee yet, brother. Appreciate the offer. Looking forward to getting that. John, good to see you here. Richard T. from the Northwest, from what I recall. I forget if you're in Canada or Washington State. Joe, good to see you. Sapient, good to see you. A couple names here I don't recognize. I haven't heard from before. Appreciate it. Looking forward to it. All right. I'm going to make this a short one. Let me just go another couple minutes here. I jumped on the cult bandwagon. Not a big cherry guy, but after everything I heard about Cult Blood Red Moon, I bought that. I wasn't a big fan, but I also got Cult Abacus. I haven't cracked this one open yet, and I'm really bad about cracking open tins. Usually when I get a huge order, I sit down and grab a screwdriver and just crack everything in like 5 minutes. But I haven't cracked that one yet. I haven't heard a lot about it either. What else we got here? Occasionally you have a tobacco that you like, you return to it, and you don't care for it that much. And that's what happened a couple weeks ago with GLP's Abington. Again, not a big English guy, but I remember I had this in my first couple weeks of pipe smoking. I loved it, but then again, English was kind of new to me. returned to it recently, and Abington was didn't offer a lot of variety. I don't know. It's kind of like a sledgehammer. It's kind of a Latakia bomb. I know there's a lot of fans out there, but didn't do anything special for me, at least at the time. And I think that's why, again, that's kind of why I like Rajah's Court so much. It's a light English. It has just enough Latakia to where you can taste it, but it's not like Pirate Cake or one of these other sledgehammers that's just like smoking through a fire hose of campfire. Well, Michael, I'm glad you asked that. Pondering on buying Bayou Morning. You know, that was I forget if it was a Reddit Tobacco of the Month or the YouTube Tobacco of the Month back in October or November. I bought it back at that time, bought the tin, didn't care for the first half, revisited it like a week later, kind of liked it, and just bought a few tins I haven't cracked open yet. So I agree, tobacco or Bayou Morning is something that I think it has some staying power. It was heavy Perique, heavy spicy, but again, compared to all the other C&D blends that have 25% Perique, which is what Bayou Morning has, I didn't think it was the Perique that really separated Bayou Morning from the rest of the catalog. I thought it was kind of hard to put a word on it, but I thought it was something else. Something else about the Virginias that I thought made Bayou Morning really special. Haven't had it in a couple months, but have a couple tins in the cellar. All right, guys, I'm going to make this a short one before I bore you to death. Really appreciate you guys coming in and joining me. I think now I kind of got the hang of it to where I can kind of put together an agenda next time and be a little more smooth with this. And then separately, what I'd like to do is hopefully get some questions or at least topics to talk about before I make a live stream, which would really kind of help out. The last thing I'll say before I hop off, in terms of recent finds, in terms of kind of a surprising find, you know, on IPSD, you know, you fill your basket and you go crazy and you throw a couple what you consider kind of wild card blends in there just to see if you like them. And occasionally they pay off and occasionally they don't pay off. And the one, I'd say the biggest find for me over IPSD was what I'm about to show you here in a second, because I ordered a lot of my favorites. But I went ahead and threw in 2 ounces of McBaron Golden Extra. And I think I was on one of the Reddit hangouts one Friday night, and somebody mentioned this. I made a note of it, and I'll be damned. This one doesn't stand out in any particular way, but in terms of an everyday smokability, just really smooth, almost like a really high quality over-the-counter blend. This McBaron Golden Extra is one of my recent favorites. And with that, I will say good day. So thanks again for watching, guys. I'll maybe try to do this in a week or two. I think what I want to do in the future of the channels is kind of slowly get away from making static videos and try to do some of these more interactive things, given that I kind of make them interactive. So, all right. Thanks again, guys. See you next time.